All right, welcome back to the Travi Wavi. I am your affable host, local artist and Renaissance man, Travis Eason, and we bring you the Travi Wavi every week, Thursday mornings around 10 a.m., where I bring you a wonderful guest, a character from the storybook capital of America, right here in downtown, beautiful, historic Abilene, Texas. Each week, we provide you this wonderful content, and you're welcome to come down and watch live in our studios here at the Neon Parrot Live Studios, next door to Majestic Coffee Shop, allegedly serving Onyx coffee. And I'm just delighted to bring you my guest today, Seth Womack. Welcome, Seth.
Hello.
Really, really excited to have you on and excited to chat with you for the next hour about things.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So we'll get into who you are and why you're so cool and deserve a seat here in just a moment. But let's find out, do you have any siblings?
I do. I have an older brother, Mason.
And where's Mason at? Is he nearby?
He is not nearby. He's in the next state up,
Okay.
which would be Oklahoma.
He's in Okie.
Yeah, he lives just outside of Oklahoma City.
Cool. You guys stay in touch?
Yeah, we probably not as much as we should, but we text every so often. We'll call each other. He's a truck driver, so he's on the road a lot.
Yeah.
And so he'll have just long periods of time during the day where he's just on the road, and so it's a good time to just like chit chat.
That's a great
But
time to talk.
we're pretty close.
Good. Does he have any children or anything like that?
Yeah, he has 3 kids. Yeah, they're his stepkids,
Okay.
but they're his kids.
Right on.
But they're lovely. And he's married, so he's got a nice little family.
Little family up there in Oklahoma.
Yeah, and he loves it.
That's good.
Yeah.
So Seth, we met many years ago, probably 2010, maybe,
Yeah.
when you came to ACU as a theater student.
Yes.
We keep the theater theme going here on the Travi Wavi.
Love it.
And the very first homecoming musical you were in was Titanic.
Yes. Titanic the musical.
And my little son, Travis James, was in that. Well, of course, he's not little anymore, but he was. There's a picture of you guys together. I think you might have been his handler or something in the show. Maybe not.
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know. A long time ago.
I don't remember. You'll have to find that picture
We'll have to
and
find
show
the
it to
picture.
me.
So you graduated from ACU at the theater as a theater major.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Any
sir.
highlights from the time there in that program?
Yeah, I mean, highlights as in like,
Well, I mean, like, I talk about on the channel that I think theater is the best education that any of us could come by. So is there anything
It's
that,
true.
you might be able to relate to as far as that's concerned? Was it a worthwhile education?
yes, I was
Seth?
about to say, I was like, well, I definitely don't regret going to ACU. ACU was not they weren't my first option of places I was considering going, but loved my time there. I think one of the main reasons was the faculty is just so they're very kind people and they're very open-minded people and very invested in their students in that department. And I feel like that, I mean, I can't really speak for other students that I went to school with, like in other departments, but I would like to think that a lot of students in all their other departments might maybe say the same thing, but definitely felt like family, and you could definitely tell that our professors really cared about us, and like not just like we're trying to teach you these things and learn this stuff, but also like
They care about you as a person.
yeah, like as a person, like personal, like and you could tell. And I'm sure it's still like that. Granted, quite a few professors aren't there anymore.
There's been a
Or
little
there's
shift
just
of
been like a
staff.
shift and stuff. But yeah. And of course, I got to work on a lot of great shows.
Any highlights?
I think the show I had the most fun on was Pirates of Penzance. And that was our spring musical of my sophomore year. So that was 2011. It's like in April. And we did that in the Folks Theater. Did they still call it Folks Theater? Did they rename? Okay.
Yeah, it's still Folks.
Oh, okay. Because like when they renamed Cullen into the Boone Family Theater,
that name got
I was
changed.
thinking when they had announced that, I was thinking that they had switched the name from Folks to Boone Family Theater, and I was like, why did they do that? I'm like, I'm never going to call it that. I'm going to call it Folks. But yeah, I was in there. The set was the sets, the costumes. Gary designed the set. Sandy Freeman designed all the costumes. Just very colorful. And Gilbert and Sullivan is so fun. So silly, because I feel like a lot of us who were in that production were a bunch of character actors, but also singers. But we were all we chewed that show up.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was so much fun. I loved that show. I think that was my favorite. Like every show I worked on was a lot of fun. Taming of the Shrew with Gary was really fun.
That's a good one too.
With Don and Carrie and Gary directing, that was really fun because I hadn't really gotten to perform with any faculty before because they would do it every so often in shows, but that was working with Carrie and Don was a lot of fun.
That's great.
And doing Shakespeare with them was Shakespeare's challenge.
Shakespeare is a challenge, but it seems like when Gary Varner's directing it, it makes it flow a little bit easier.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's got such a great sense of how to tell the story.
Yeah, Gary loves to direct, and this is like any good director would do this, but a lot of stuff based on improv. And I tell people, even like people who aren't from the theater world, I'm like, because people are like, oh yeah, improv, like stand-up comedy and like SNL and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but improv just like it can be used as a tool just to help you think on your feet and go. And Dawn would do improv exercises with us too, like when she would direct and stuff. So I really enjoyed that.
That's great.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's good.
I tangented.
Good tangent. So you graduated in 2013. And then we were talking before the show, but your parents moved back to this part to Abilene.
Yeah.
Kind of being from West Texas. But you grew up in Fort Worth.
Yes, I grew up in Justin, Texas, which is on the kind of outer edge of Fort Worth. So here's Fort Worth, and up here's Denton, and then Justin's kind of like right here in the middle in that stretch. Usually I tell people, I'm like, if you know where the Texas Motor Speedway is off of the highway on that stretch up to Denton, then Justin is like right there.
Right on.
But it's much bigger now than it was because that whole area, the Metroplex just grows out and out and out, like more suburbs, and then like more high schools and then more shopping, restaurants and everything. So when you drive through that area now, it's like blown up.
It'll probably look like I-20 does through Abilene, and in 20 years from now, where we just connect to Clyde and Barrett and Ty and Markle. Cool. So after college, did you move back to the Metroplex?
Yes, I did. I graduated in 2013 and then kind of stuck around for almost a year because I was like, I want to be, my plan was like, I want to be in DFW. I want to get back there so I can kind of start building my resume and getting my foot in the door with theaters and just start performing. And, but for the rest of the year, I just got a job starting working at Starbucks. I was like, I need to do something. And so I was just working, and then on a whim, I auditioned for Les Miserables at Dallas Theater Center. And I don't even remember, it wasn't even on my radar initially. My friend, Allie Beans, who I went to ACU with, I think she kind of sent it my way, which she's a casting director now, so she's really good at doing stuff like that. And she just sent it my way. She was like, you have to audition for this. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. And I got a slot, and I went through the callbacks, and I booked Les Mis at Dallas Theater Center, which was really cool, which I think at the time I didn't realize how big of a deal that was working for them. And that was my first show I ever did in DFW. So when I think about it now, I was like, and it was such a crazy experience because that was a wonderful theater to work for. Their facility is incredible. what they can do with their space, the Wiley Theater that's there downtown, very versatile space. And we did like a modernized version of Les Mis, where it was set more like dystopian kind of.
That's cool.
Which was cool. It was fun to see the mixed reactions out of people.
Yeah.
'Cause they were like, what? Like, what
French
is this about? And then
What's
a lot of
going
people
on?
were like, we've never seen it done like this before. No one's done it like that. So that was really cool.
That's great.
But that's what got me there. And then in Dallas. And then after that, I just kept, even just off that show, I met people, made connections, like got my foot in the door other places. There were ASU alums in that show as
really?
well that
That's
I acted
great.
with, Jonathan Bragg
Oh, yeah.
and Alex Organ.
That's great.
Yeah. And I knew Jonathan. I hadn't met Alex before, but I was like, look at us.
Yeah, that's cool.
Look at us being cool.
That's great.
Yeah, I loved that. A lot
So
of fun.
after Les Mis and Dallas, that kind of kept you working in the theater scene for a period of time after that. And what made you decide to come back to Abilene?
I moved back here right at the very end of 2016, and in that time span, I had done because I kind of was just moving from one show to the next show to the next show, which was great. I'm very, very lucky that I had that experience.
Well, you're very talented too, sir.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I think I just got to a point where I just was having a hard time saving money because all my money was going towards just like rent and everything. And I was like really, really struggling. Things were going towards I was having to start to pay off my student loans and stuff like that, which is a trip. And so I had a long conversation with my parents on the phone, and I was like, y'all, I think they were the ones who really talked me into it. They were like, really think you need to, because they were here by the time this was happening. They were here in the Abilene area, living here, and they were like, you just need to come home, and you can stay with us. And I was just like, that was like a big load off. But even I moved back out here, but then I kept taking contracts and stuff in DFW whenever I would just drive out, audition, book a show, and then I would, for 7 weeks or how long the contract was, I would couch surf with friends. I would stay on someone's couch or stay in their guest room or whatever. And I think I did, living here, technically being here, but all of 2017, I did the most shows I ever did in 1 year. I did 5.
Wow.
Back to back to back in Dallas and in Fort Worth. So that was wild.
I mean,
But very rewarding.
do you think about, so when you're talking about this just got me thinking about oh, so you're a theater major. How's that working out for you? You know, and here you are, Seth, super talented, booking gig after gig after gig after gig in a really great market, DFW market.
Yeah.
Professional work, and still financially struggling to make, because I mean, whether it's, and I'm not picking on you, this is the
Why are you
tale as old
picking on me?
tale as old as time
That's
of
true.
artists struggling,
Yeah.
to make it work, even though, you're working professionally, you're putting out incredible product, right? And yet
Like to think
the
it was great.
the underlying system doesn't support the artists in a way that they can actually feed themselves.
Yeah, and a lot of, and I guess I'm speaking for people I worked with there in Dallas. A lot of people, that's not just their one gig.
Right.
So, and it wasn't even my one gig. I was breasting my ass off. But a good amount of theaters there will rehearse at night, but then there are other theaters, big professional theaters like Dallas Theater Center or Casa Manana, that they rehearse during the day, and you've got to just make it work.
Yeah.
And that was cool though. That was my first time I'd ever been ooh, this is my day thing.
This is my day job.
I'm going to the theater at 10 a.m. and I'm not getting out of there until 6 p.m.
Yep.
But yeah, I think if you're there, you got 2-3 jobs.
Yeah. You got to hustle.
I mean, it's the same as It's like a smaller version of like being somewhere bigger, like LA or New York or Seattle or Chicago, where unless I feel like maybe if you have booked something consistent on Broadway, I mean, even if you do have a Broadway gig, no shame if you want to still have a little hustle going on, but I'm sure there might be people who do that. I don't know.
Yep.
But, yeah,
it's not an industry that serves its participants super well when it comes to financial security.
Unless you're like off the top of my head, I was trying to think of someone who's like who's a really famous Broadway person currently. Unless you're like Audra McDonald or something, or someone who's that's their main gig.
Yeah.
But
well, I think about, one of our other alum, Ben Jeffries, who's been Pumbaa.
Oh my God.
On Broadway for
forever.
15 plus years or something.
Yeah. I think longer than that.
Maybe even longer than that. And that's probably his only gig.
Yeah.
But I think his wife works too.
I'm sure.
I don't know.
I've never met him. I've never met Ben.
He's a swell guy.
I'm sure.
Super swell. He's a MacGyver.
If you're playing Pumbaa, you're probably a pretty decent human being.
Yeah.
Pleasant to be around.
Pretty solid. So, okay, so you're gigging in Dallas, you're working professionally, you're slinging coffee beans to pay the rent.
Beans were flying.
And you're back in Abilene, staying with your folks?
Yes. That whole time, I moved back like November of 16, and then 2017 was the busiest year where I did the most, and then 2018 I only did one show in the summer, and then one show in 2019 because I was like 27, like living here and then going like driving back and forth, like doing auditions, because really before COVID, it wasn't super normal to send in like video submissions, or maybe it was, but they didn't ask that of you like in Dallas. Now it's like very, very common for obvious reasons, but I would have to like drive for an initial audition. Hopefully the callbacks were happening like the next day, and I could just stay until the next day, and hopefully it wasn't like, we'll get back to you next week. Yeah. So then I'd haul ass back here, then haul ass back to Dallas. But doing 5 shows like that back to back in 2017, it was a great year, and I worked on great shows. But after that, I was like, wow, okay. Yeah. Maybe I'll just set my sights on hopefully just 1 or 2 things, so I don't overexert myself, because I got to take care of myself too. Yeah. But that's what happened to me. My last show, and this is still the last show I've done since now, was fall of 19, and it was First Date, the musical First Date that I did at Stage West in Fort Worth. And after that, I thought a lot about it over the holidays, and I was like, you know what? I need to just take a year and not do anything, not do any theater. Yeah. Just to kind of reset, because I had just started that spring, I had just started bartending at the Green Room. May it rest in peace. May it rest in peace. And I was like really getting into that, and I was like, well, this is good money. I like this. And I was baristing and bartending, and I was like, you know what? Let's just take a year. So I can just be here. And I decided that that was like my New Year's 2020 thing. Little did we know what was going to happen come March. And I remember thinking, I was like, well, COVID hit, and I was like, well, I guess this is the perfect time, quote, perfect time to take a break, because nothing's happening anyways. And of course, 2020 went down in history. But I think in that time, and now it's 2025, blink of an eye, it's 2025, which is wild to me. I kind of just got it. It was really, really nice. Just doing something different, something creative, but not theater, because I've done theater my whole life. Yeah. And it was really nice kind of being in a community of people that wasn't a theater community. Not that the theater community is bad or anything. I love them. But I had never dipped my toes into a community of people, like the bar community, where not a lot of them come from a theater background, or some do, but in this city, you get some, but a lot of them, it's like, it's a whole different thing. And I really liked that. I was like, oh, I'm getting to experience something different. But still getting to be creative, like, because all the bartending I've done up until this point has been craft cocktails. So it's a little more creative, and I get to really have a lot of my input into what I create, especially at Poorhouse, where our bartenders create that menu ourselves. So, and even because I get asked this question all the time, because everyone knows what kind of background I come from, and they're like, you ever going to get back into it? Like, or like, do you not want to do it anymore? And I'm like, totally want to still do it. I just don't want to do it right now.
Yeah.
Which I feel like don't really have to explain myself to anybody, but
no, but as someone, as a fellow theater person that has needed to take breaks.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, like, it can burn you out.
Yeah.
You know, you mentioned 2017 you said you did 5 shows that year.
Yeah.
I had a couple of years back in there where, I was doing like 13 shows a year.
That's wild.
And it's like you can't sleep because you're thinking about all the problems that you need to solve the next day to get the show off the ground.
Yep.
And it can be soul sucking. It can be draining. So I think it is definitely good to walk away and let the passion seep back in.
Yeah, because it'll never go away for me. I don't think. I shouldn't even say I don't think. It won't. It will not.
No, I think I
don't want to jinx myself.
Once the bug bites you, I don't know that you can ever actually get away from it. It's like Lyme disease.
Because oh God, not Lyme disease. Because I started singing when I was like 3, and that was just like in church, like, because my mom sang when she was growing up, and I think both my parents came from like sort of musical households, at least people who like sang.
Yeah.
But I don't think I didn't really get the theater bug until like middle school.
Okay.
I think before then I would go to like theater camps and stuff. And because I think in middle school, that's when they started giving us like theater classes, like in school as like an elective. Like, you can do choir, you can do drama, or you can do band or whatever. But even before then, like, I would do little skits, like, because I grew up going to church. And so like anytime there was someone who needed like skits, like for Vacation Bible School or for whatever, for Sunday school, or to do like during the church sermon, I don't know, they were like, Seth, you want to do it? Because I was already singing for people, but they were like, let's get you acting up there. But I think middle school is where it like consistently like started flowing. But yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So you've been back
It's been a long time
in Abilene since 2019, 2020. And you still do the cabaret at the Paramount with Katie Hahn. And you're mentioning you've done like 10 out of the 11?
Done 10, yeah. We started doing it in 2020. So how this whole thing started, Barry Smoot, he was the one. This was it was kind of him and George together. I think they had gone to up in New York. There's the 54 Below, which is a famous cabaret venue in New York City, where they get a lot of Broadway people in there, and they'll do like music reviews or little concerts and stuff like that. And that kind of inspired them. They were like, we can do something like that here. Because there's so many talented people in this city, musicians and artists, singers, actors, and they were like, we should do something like that. And so our first one was supposed to be in March of 20.
Oh, wow.
And then everything got shut down.
Yep.
And so we moved it to September of 20, and that was our first one. And I lost my train of thought. But that was the first one I did. Cool. And that was even before Katie even I think that was before Katie even was working for the Paramount.
Okay.
I think she might have still been doing stuff with Hardin Simmons. Katie, when
sorry.
you watch this, I'm sorry.
Sorry
like
about your
my
timeline,
brain,
girl.
it was 2020. I don't remember a lot. I didn't even get COVID in 2020. I didn't get it till the next year. But yeah,
You're just a late bloomer. Seth.
I'm always a late bloomer. No, I was a tall kid. I was always tall. Me and my brother. My brother's 6'7".
Oh, wow.
I'm 6'2".
Wow.
But
Cabaret.
yeah, Cabaret is just always a blast. And I can't wait to see what we've already done 11. I can't wait to see where it goes next.
Yeah. And that was, so the last one was what, just a month ago? Was it already been a month?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we did it the 23rd through the 25th of October.
Okay.
It was like the weekend before Halloween.
So just a few weeks ago. That's good. And that went well. I heard that went really well.
Very, very well.
Tap House came and did the catering for the food, and
that's what I love about the cabarets is like we always will get someone local to cater.
yeah, good. And it was well attended, I'm sure.
Yeah, always.
Good.
Always. It is a very like intimate setup. Do you know how it's set up in there?
Katie said it was like on the stage this year.
They clear out everything, and it's kind of like a reverse perspective kind of a thing where all the tables and chairs and everything are set up on the stage, and the band. So it's like the little stage, like this big, and the band, because we have someone on keys, someone on drums, someone on bass, and we're facing. So say we're standing here. The proscenium's right up here. We're facing that back wall, the stage back wall, and the audience is looking back at you. So they're looking out into the house.
Yeah.
So they can see all the seats. They can see the
cool.
starry sky. That's why they call it Cabaret Under the Stars, because they turn on the lights. But it's really fun because they're just right there. So it's very intimate. That's what makes it a lot of fun, and that's why people, I feel like, are the audiences eat it up so much because you're right there in the action, instead of like sitting out in the seats and then everything's going on over there, which that's every theater experience if you go see anything in the theater normally. But I feel like people, when they show up and they've never been before, they're not expecting that, and they're like, oh wow.
Well, and it's probably a treat for audience members that have never had a chance to get up on a stage, even though they're still an audience member, but they get that experience of going backstage and coming out the wings and
it's
looking
really cool.
out on the audience and just having that kind of oh wow moment.
Yeah. And I feel like people who are expecting like a traditional theater experience where they don't even know they're going to be fully immersed, and of course that's kind of been, it's not even like a growing trend, it's been like a thing for a while that theater has started to adopt the idea of doing very intimate, immersive concepts for like plays and musicals and stuff, where you're like thrust into the action, where it's happening right there, where you have musicians on the stage with the performers, or the performers playing their own instruments while they're singing, which is, I think, genius. But it feels kind of like that, where you feel like you're a part, where the audience feels like they're really a part of it.
There isn't a fourth wall, so to speak. It's kind of
exactly. Yeah, like I can reach over and like,
it's pretty cool.
Touch an audience member on the head.
We have some theater that's going to be happening in this space coming up. I think there's 2 ACU senior theater directs that are doing. I don't remember their names off the top of my head. I'm hoping to get them on the channel beforehand to do a little interview, but I want to say that's December. I'll have to get back to my audience and to you about that. I don't want to give you the wrong date, but it's coming up in early December here. It'll be free.
Cool. I didn't know
do
that.
a little promotion about it at some point, but that'll be good.
I love that.
This is a great space for theater at the Neon Parrot Live Studios, because it's like you said, it's kind of intimate, pretty close.
That's a great idea, because I know they did that. ACU did. I don't know if it was for classes, or I'm not exactly sure, like if it was just like a student. I think it was all student led, like student directed and acted and stuff. But it was a musical that existed, like, I think it came out when I was in college, or maybe like before college, but called Ordinary Days. And it's just like a 4-person small musical set in like New York City, just about, it's like 2 guys, 2 girls, about intersecting lives and stuff. But think they put it on over at 7-in-1.
Oh yeah, the bookstore.
And I was like, that's a really great idea, because like that bookstore has very like New York kind of like cozy bookstore vibes.
Yep.
And they have like especially with when they opened up that additional space like right next door. I was like, that's such a great idea, because I love, like when I was just talking about, I love like the immersive like all of it's happening like right here with the audience, and you're like there a part of it. But yeah, like doing stuff in here, and this space is big for like something small like that. I love that.
So going back to
idea.
like talking about bartending and the corollary between bartending and theater, because I see hospitality very much like an offshoot of theater for me, or vice versa. What are some ways that you connect the two dots?
That's a great question. I love that question. I really embraced, first initially being a barista, but also even more so as a bartender, is I've always been really good at interacting with people and just talking to people, and not just like talking for the sake of talking, but I actually like kind of care about talking to people. And that's why why I embraced acting so much, is like, because when you're an actor, when you have to portray a role, you're telling someone's story, you're telling a story, and you have to really be able to relate to that character, get into their head, so you can give a very truthful performance. So you got to have, this is what I tell people when they're people who don't come from a theater background, who don't know, like, don't grasp the concept of acting, or they've never acted before. I'm like, you got to really, it all comes down to, at least for me, like empathy. You got to know how to empathize with someone. And so when I'm working, I fully invest in my customers and stuff. And I'm like, I give a shit about them. Like, I care about them. I want them to have a great time. I want their cocktail to be great, because I want them to come back. Selfishly, I want their money. But so it's like a win-win, because I'm like, you're helping me, I'm helping you.
Yep.
And it's really nice giving, just like with theater, where you're creating something, you're creating this like pretty thing, and you're showing it to someone, and you're like, I want you to take something from this, because I want this to like affect you in some way, good or bad, preferably good. But that's the same with craft cocktails to me, or just customer service in general. I'm like, I want you to have like the best time. I want to give you this thing that I've created, and I want it to like touch you in some way, or I want you to have a good time. I'm always looking to show people a good time.
Yeah.
That's why I still do the cabarets, because people just have the best time when they're there. But I always have people, I have lots of regulars who come back into the bar, because one, we created something really nice there with the space and everything. And Shauna's a genius, and Shauna's the one who taught, Shauna Plant, co-owner of the Pour House downtown and Sway Cafe. She created something great, and she's the one who taught me how to bartend. She
I want to
thinks
interrupt
the
you
same
real
way
quick,
I do.
because I think this is the craft bartending culture in Abilene is not very old yet.
Nope.
And Shauna, I'd love to have a conversation with you about this, but I feel like
yes.
Drew Garrison from Abbey House, he was one of the co-founders of Abbey House and Public House, who taught Shauna craft, and Callie and a couple other kids. And then those gals took that knowledge and craft and has passed it on to you and others. Like, my son's a part of that culture.
Yeah.
But there's this lineage of like craft cocktail culture that you can trace back through these people. And Shauna's like one of the first ones that was, shown the way by Drew. And
yeah, I love that.
I think it's really cool.
Was the local, when I worked with TJ at the local, was that his first bar to work behind?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool.
And that was from Callie did the menu there.
Yeah.
Right. So that culture. So again, like, you got it through Shauna. He got it a little bit through Callie and you, but so like all these. But it's that craft cocktail culture that has a real lineage here in Abilene, and it's really fun to be able to trace it back. Yeah, that's not something you get all the time. You can't always trace a culture like that back,
especially in a city like Abilene. So, which is just kind of sometimes it feels very far removed from everywhere else, even though we're not super far from. I think that's the appeal to some people, is that we're not part of like a big metropolitan area.
Yeah.
We're only like two-ish, 2.5 hours from Fort Worth, which is not bad.
Yep.
And we're not far from Lubbock. We're not far from Midland, Odessa. I mean, and those cities can also be considered sort of more similar to Abilene.
Yeah. But we're not that far from San Antonio or Austin.
Yeah.
You know,
But
even Houston's only 5 hours from here.
ugh. If there was an
dirty
easier
H word.
way to drive from here to get to Houston, I probably still wouldn't do it a lot. But
Right.
God,
So Sam was just
Hate
at
driving to Houston.
a Boy Scout thing recently, I think, for someone was getting honored, and I guess Rick Perry spoke there.
Oh.
Not to give Rick Perry too many props here, but
Nah.
when he was governor, he talked about doing a light rail system that was going to connect like that major triangle of, Houston, San Marcos, Austin, and
Yeah.
I think we missed the boat on that. Because could
I think
you
we-
imagine if you could get on a
Yeah.
light rail and be in Dallas or Austin or Houston, like
Yeah.
from here? That would be amazing. Public transportation.
Damn, that would've been
I'm
nice.
a fan. I know. So you got into craft cocktails, and you've been working at Poorhouse, and it's been open for almost 4 years, right? Coming up on 4 years.
Yeah, our birthday's in December. I can't ever remember what the actual date is. It's like December 13th, 14th or something. But yeah, we opened in December of 21. So
And it's a great little bar. If
Yeah.
if you've never been, it's again downtown in the heart of beautiful historic downtown Abilene, Texas, storybook capital of America.
oh my,
It's right here on Pine and what's the cross street? It's
4th.
North Fourth.
Yeah, it's on the corner of
in
4th and Pine.
corner of the Windsor, right?
Yep.
Right across the street, like from the post office and First Financial Bank.
Yep.
And I was
Nice
asking you
little spot.
before the show, with the AI data center that we have north of town, are you getting customers in from that?
Yeah, we have a lot of people from doing all sorts of jobs from all over that involved with that data center. A good amount are renting out places to live in the Windsor, or have lived somewhere in town. But a lot of times when people get here who are not from here, somehow
Where's the cool place to
yeah,
go?
they're like either they Google it or they visit the Visitors Bureau or the Chamber of Commerce or something, their websites, or find a pamphlet somewhere. Because I feel like if they're here staying in a hotel, there's lots of that stuff, especially at the DoubleTree. And they're always like, "Ooh, the Poorhouse," and so get a lot of people from all over, even not just the data center, but just with the hotel being downtown now.
Oh yeah.
Which is the whole point of it being there. Because God, I remember that took them forever to decide if they wanted it downtown or not. They talked about it for forever.
I know, and we've had a couple people on
they
the
built it so
channel
fast,
that
too.
have talked about it. Like Donna Albus was a huge promoter of getting that happening, and Katie Freeman was on discussing some of that because she was there from, when it was still dirt and being built up, and so it's been really fun for me to hear everyone's different opinions and stories about it. But at the end of the day, I'm glad that we have. Any time that we're investing in our downtowns, I think is good.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this downtown Abilene has gone through such a transformation. Because when I was here in college, there was Cypress and Beehive, they're staples. They were here. Love those places. Monk's was a thing, but Monk's was the only place to go get coffee downtown. Because we could have gone to like the library or somewhere on campus, but we were like, let's like get off campus. Let's go find somewhere to go. And Monk's, but now it's like, there's so many different, like we've got Grain Theory, we've got Vagabond, we've got Front Porch, we have Majestic, we've got all of these things. We even have a bookstore, which I think is so cool. I love having 7 in 1 in such a short amount of time.
Yeah.
Relatively.
Yeah.
I forget how much time has passed from like now back to COVID.
It's wild. That 5 years has been.
I hate thinking about
A
it.
crazy time. And I'm wondering,
Feels like yesterday.
just on that subject real quick, it's just good to pick your brain about it.
Ooh, yes.
I'm wondering if now that if enough time has passed, that those of us that were, I'm going to say adults going through that time, because I do feel like this affected my children differently than it affected me, you know, because they were still, you know, my son was a senior in high school.
Yeah.
And they got out in March. You know, that's going to have an impact on these younger generations just in lots of different ways. But, you know, there's not a lot of cultural discussion about the trauma that we all survived. And some of us didn't survive it.
Yeah.
And it's like we talk about it as if it's like a Voldemort or something, like, oh yeah, we all got through that. Oh man, remember when we had that? You know, but I don't know that we've had a lot of time to actually like process it or grieve together about it, or even like pull out the silver linings from that time, if there are any. I don't know.
I feel like maybe I don't know if this is necessarily how I feel, but I feel like people probably don't want to,
Right.
or don't want to yet. Because I feel like in the height of when all that was going on, like in 2020, that was just like, just so unexpected. That's like the last thing, at least for me, I expected to happen. I was like, say what?
Yeah.
What's happening right now? And we had never experienced anything like that before. And God, I'm so glad I was not like still in school when that was going on. Because I'll talk to who are college students now, like ACU students or Hardin Simmons students or McMurray students who I meet just like doing the cabarets and stuff like that, who they're like, oh yeah, I was in high school when that was happening, or I graduated in 2020. And I'm like, ho, tell me. Sorry. I'm the person where I'm like, what was that like? Because I even remember when it was going on, I was like, God, I would hated that. Like moving to Zoom and like not being able to like graduate like in person, and I don't think I would have made it. But yeah, I feel like maybe people are I mean, I'm ready to like talk about it, but I feel like it was such an insane time and then now it just feels, it being in 2025, it feels like a distant, because people are still getting COVID and everything and its variants, but now it's just kind of like every so often I'll kind of be staring out the window and I'm like, remember when we had to like make sure we had a mask in our bag or our pocket, or there were stickers on the floor at like Walgreens where it's like, don't stand over there, or the toilet paper thing. And I just like think about it sometimes and I'm like, wow, that was 5 years ago, but just and so much more happened than what I just said. But those are the things that stick in my mind.
I remember,
like I'm stuck at home.
The rollout of the plexiglass panels that were just kind of hanging between you and whoever customer service thing. Like,
I worked at Starbucks during COVID, and so that was a lot of fun.
Right.
COVID was one of the reasons why I quit Starbucks. Well, and I stuck with it for a while, but because so I will say Starbucks really took care of us during COVID, like, because so many people lost their jobs, especially people in service industry, but we kept our jobs. We got paid more an hour because we were deemed essential, and which I'm like, thank you, I am. Like, I want my job. But it was kind of nice because it was nice at first because customers couldn't come inside. So it was we kept the lights really dim inside. We pushed all the furniture to one side of the room. Like all the tables and chairs were stacked over here. And it was just like, we got to just work in silence or just work with each other. We didn't have to like really engage with people. And then when people could come back in, and I don't know, like during COVID, there was like a switch that flipped in people, especially in the service industry, where people just like acting crazy, acting a fool for whatever reason. And it just got to be too much. I can deal with interesting bar people. Like I'd rather deal with a drunk person than deal with someone who's
upset about their
7 a.m. and they're
order.
upset about their coffee when they're on their way to their job, which they hate or something. Yeah. There's nothing like it. Because I was a morning barista. I was in the thick of it
every morning,
which is great. Which is like great great to become a bartender later because I was used to just like go, 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 go. Don't miss it, but don't miss that. But yeah, I think it is like going back to what you were initially saying. I think it is important to reflect on, and if you need to grieve, need to grieve. If you need to talk about the trauma, it's like healthy to talk about it. And like maybe people feel like they don't know where to talk about that stuff.
Well, yeah, and even just to create a little space to do that. You know, I've been we talk about the data center and this AI wave that's already starting to affect us and things like this, and I'm a little hedgy because I'm like, well, we really haven't dealt with the last major thing, and here's the next thing that's coming down the line that's going to be hugely disruptive, maybe even more so. And not only are we really underprepared, I don't know that we're really aware that it's happening either. So even if I can just bring a little, spend a little time thinking about it, just talk with your people about it, whatever. Like, otherwise, I'm a little concerned that humanity's just getting steamrolled into. Stay home, wear your mask.
Yeah. Oh my God. Ugh, never again. Hopefully, God. Fingers crossed. I feel like I should have had questions to ask you.
Do you have any questions for me?
Did I told you already this is my first podcast ever to record.
I love I've been really, really lucky to have so many wonderful people on the channel. Almost everybody says yes, and it's surprising how many this is their first opportunity to do a podcast. So I'm happy to hopefully make it comfortable.
Well, definitely.
Good.
It helps that like I've known you for like a good amount of time, and so I mean I could talk to that's the kind of person I am. I could talk to a stranger and be like la 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 la, but because you're like we've been friends for a long time, that helps, and we come from like we share similar interests and background in like education and stuff. I've always wanted to record a podcast. I always tell friends, I'm like, dude, I could just do a podcast where we just talk about anything or talk about movies because I'm a big movie person. And so I would love to be on a podcast where I just talk about movies all the time. Because I started getting into podcasts during COVID. Wasn't the first time I'd ever listened to a podcast, but I needed something to like, because during COVID I was living with my folks, and so I was just like I was at home and I was going to work and I was coming back home, so I needed something to listen to on my commute or like something to like listen in my downtime or just like either watch TV. But I really got into what is it, My Favorite Murder podcast, which is like a true crime podcast, and I feel like true crime stuff has really blown up in the last however many years, but fascinating like hearing about, and it sounds like really interesting thing to be interested in, but just stories about like missing person stories or cold cases or things about serial killers, because those stories are really, really weird and interesting to me. But
I think it's interesting that culturally, I mean, we've always kind of had that rift or maybe not a rift, but that sort of section of content and culture that is appealing, kind of like horror movies. And there's like a genre for it. But I do think it's interesting that around the COVID time is when the true crime sort of murder mystery thing seems to have. The fire got a little bit bigger there. Like there's more interest in it or something.
And I think that it makes sense for me that I would be interested in it because like even when I was growing up, I liked shows like Unsolved Mysteries, like the OG Unsolved Mysteries, where they have like newer ones now, like on Netflix.
Right on.
Obviously that the narrator, I don't remember his name, is pretty sure he's not alive anymore. But
Angela Lansbury, Murder, She Wrote. That's probably about
Murder, She Wrote. Definitely.
My baseline right there.
Or I think there was a lot of like PBS shows like that were like a British detective and I'm going around and but so it makes sense that I feel like sometimes when I tell people I'm like I like stories about serial killers, they're like
you're weird, Seth.
Or just like I don't know, or at least like the very famous serial killers. Like I like to at least know the story behind that. Like I watched the Jeffrey Dahmer, not the documentary, but like the dramatized series that they did on Netflix. Really, it was good. It was just like a lot. Or the Ed Gein one that just came out was creeped me the hell out. But oh wait, I told you to what did I tell you to log away in your brain?
Oh yeah, checks and balances.
Checks and balances. Okay,
Yeah.
this is like a completely topic shift, but it's the most interesting thing I've done this week. I think I the other night, I don't remember how this came up. Me and Blaker, my boyfriend, we were just chilling at home. It had to have been something we were watching on TV, but something came up about immigrants who like want to get their citizenship here in the U.S. and like what kind of like what kind of things they have to do, like practice, like do they have to take like a practice test so they can take like the test to see like to get their, I almost said their citizenship license,
Essentially.
But I was like, I want to know what's on that test, and I like Googled a bunch of different quizzes and tests, and I was going, because it goes through all this stuff like geography, but like U.S. history, and even stuff that even like European history and like more world geography, and I hadn't like tickled my brain with that stuff since like high school, and so it was really there was one that was like 175 questions long.
Oh my goodness.
But it was giving you things from all over, like simple thing, or what I would consider simple things, like who was the first U.S. president, or when was the Declaration of Independence signed, or what's the Constitutional Convention, or what are the Bill of Rights, and then it was like, what's the capital of California? But I was
Sacramento.
quizzing. I was quizzing my boyfriend, because I have more of a brain for those things than he does.
Okay.
And he was like, I don't want to do this. You're making me feel dumb. I'm like, I'm not doing this to make you feel dumb. And I'm really, really like, I'm even trying to get you to like really guess these questions. It took me a while. If he watches this, I'm not saying this to make fun of him or embarrass him, but it took me a while to get him to guess Pearl Harbor. Well, first it came from what 3 countries were involved in World War II. Okay. That took a minute. Okay. Because you have like some of what I could name all 3 immediately, but I really had to get him to like, I was like, okay, let's try to guess which these are. And I'm like, why? And then why was this country? How did they get involved? And so that took a while. It also took me a while to get him to remember 1776 at the date. And I was like, Blaker, we watch National Treasure a lot as an unwind movie, which I love that movie. But I was like, okay. I was like, I'm glad we're doing this. Yeah. But then I was like, I'll have to think of like a quiz that he can give me where I'll be like, you're making fun of me. You're embarrassing me. I don't know this stuff. It's probably going to be about sports or something. It's got to be about sports, because I could quiz anyone on movies.
That's great.
Movies or history, I guess.
So
theater stuff.
Checks and balances.
But checks. I'm sorry. I keep coughing in the microphone. But yeah, checks and balances was one of the things that came up. Like what is that? And but when you said that, because I don't really hear a lot of people say checks and balances, so that made me think. I was like, oh, I want to talk about this, because it was like really interesting to me, because it was fun for me. Yeah. Because it was kind of me brushing up on everything that I might have forgotten. Yeah. And I was really impressed with all the stuff I actually remembered. But I feel like
I've heard that test is difficult, that like most citizens would be like, what? I could not pass this citizenship test.
And that's how I felt when I was taking it. I was like, there's a lot of this stuff that I'm like, I really should know this, but I don't. And when I would read like the answer, I'm like, well, duh. Like, duh, that's what it was. I just like, I needed to brush up on it. But it was really fun. I was like, ooh, I love this stuff. I kept being like, what else can we
What else can we Google?
What else can we Google?
That's
Like,
good.
what other quizzes can we Google? I loved doing that.
Well, as we wrap up today, friend,
No.
any more thoughts, questions, any visions for the future of Abilene, for yourself, for culture?
I want to do this again.
Yeah, you can, absolutely.
And I'll have questions for you.
Great, perfect.
Because we never talked about. I think next time I'm on here, I want to talk about movies.
Okay.
Because you're a movie guy.
I like movies. Yeah.
Oh, you like movies.
I like movies.
That wasn't the response I wanted. I put up with them.
I'm trying to think about like what, if there's a movie I've seen recently that I'm like, oh, that was really, really good. But nothing's really coming to mind. My son and my friends are always like, oh, you need to watch this, you need to watch this. But then I end up scrolling TikTok instead.
What are your favorite kind of movies? What's your favorite genre?
Man, that's a good question.
No right or wrong answer.
There's just so many good movies. I mean, oh man.
Because I'll watch anything.
There's almost anything with Edward Norton is going to be good.
Ooh, good answer.
Anything with anything Scorsese is going to be good.
I watched Taxi Driver for the first time during COVID. I'd never seen it before.
Really? Danny DeVito does not make trash. Like, I think I could do that. Like, there's like actors and directors and writers that I'm like, everything they do is good. Everything they do. But that's not true for everyone, Like,
true.
I love Leo DiCaprio, but that doesn't mean everything he does is great.
No.
I love, let's see.
There's like a lot of recent like Leo stuff that I need to watch. I still haven't watched The Killers of the Flower Moon. I need to watch that.
I haven't seen that yet. I want to watch that.
Because it's Scorsese and Leo.
Yeah, that looks real good.
And the new one he's in with Benicio del Toro that just came out. I hear it's really, really good.
So I mean, like I like movie. I like film. I like good film.
So there we go.
Yeah.
But or maybe by the time I'm on here again, if you want me to be on here again.
Oh, come on, Seth.
No pressure. Because the next cabaret will be in February.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe we always do one like if Valentine's falls on a weekend or it's like somewhere near the weekend, we'll do it like the weekend before, after Valentine's, or right on the date. Yeah. But it's a great date night idea for people, so we can get a lot of people in there really quickly, sell it really quick, because it's like dinner. It's dinner and a show.
Yep.
So we usually do Valentine's-ish time and then October time before all the crazy holiday.
Perfect
season.
Yeah. We'll definitely do one around then. I know my girlfriend and I want to come to see the next cabaret for sure, so we'll do that. I think in Abilene we've got the Christmas parade coming up. I'll give you more dates about that as we get closer.
December 2nd.
December 2nd?
December 2nd, which is a Tuesday. Because my birthday is December 6th, and it's that weekend. I'll be 35. But
you young man still.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. My knees don't feel it, but it's like my neck, my knees, and my lower back.
Yep.
But yeah, that's Tuesday. I think it starts at 6:30. I only know this because I asked someone like 2 days ago when it was, because I like to go to it. I'm not usually that good with dates for stuff in town unless I'm involved in them.
Well, and theoretically, we're producer extraordinaire Sam Wolf and Ben Fair from The Breakdown and I are discussing doing sort of a play-by-play as the parade goes by. We're looking at getting a trailer out front and setting up, and Ben and I will do a little play-by-play as the parade goes on, since Fox isn't doing it anymore. The Neon Parrot Live Studios will do it.
Did they used to do that?
Yeah.
4 hour per, like for
I don't know about for us, but they used to, at least have the camera and
I didn't know that.
Do a little live stream of it. Yep.
I've only started like recently going to it, like since I've been working downtown, and because it's always on Pine, and I always just like go sit, because if it's cold out, I'll just go sit in one of the like the window booths in Poorhouse and just watch it from the window and drink, or drink cocoa or whatever.
Not a bad job.
Not a bad job at all.
Good.
Well,
what else, sir? Any final closing thoughts for today?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I work tonight.
Go see Seth at the Poorhouse.
Go see me tonight. Come see me and Juan.
Yeah.
We'll be slanging.
Yep.
Slanging drinks.
Really good drinks. Yummy drinks.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, they really are. They're good.
Come in, I'll give you a Fernet.
Fernet.
Fernet. Yeah, you love Fernet.
Aperitif.
Well, happy Thanksgiving, I guess.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to you too.
Happy holidays.
And I'll come down and see you, and we'll get you back on the show.
Let's go.
February sounds good around the cabaret. That sounds like a great time to do it.
Or before then.
Yeah.
Whatever
And
you
then
want to do.
if you wanna-
Every week, I don't know.
We can get you set up with a little podcast here. No problem.
I'm down.
No problem.
I'm not doing anything during the day. I would be asleep right now.
Yeah, right? Just something more to do. Make some culture.
I don't even know if I'm going to be able to take a nap. I'm a nap guy. I'm a napper.
Now that we got you awake and caffeinated.
I know. Damn it.
Well, friends, thank you for joining us today for another Travi Wavi. Seth, thanks for being a guest today. A wonderful guest. Good conversation.
Thank you.
Tim has been helping out from InFocus Media. Thank you, Tim, for stepping up and stepping in and helping us make this content happen today. Thank you, Sam Wolf, producer extraordinaire, for hosting us here at the Neon Parrot Live Studios. Got another great guest for you next week, so tune in or come on down, grab some coffee next door at Majestic Coffee Shop, allegedly serving Onyx, and we will catch you next week on the Travi Wavi. I'm your host, Travis Eason, signing off.